Welcome in. We got work to do. Boy, we got some orders to ship. We got eBay, Poshmark. I already shipped to Mercari. I'll talk about that in a second. And I don't have any Amazon to ship. I did have a couple of Amazon FBA sales, but those are items I shipped into Amazon, and Amazon takes care of shipping those for me. But yeah, we got some work to do. I'm excited to share some time with you. If you're jumping into the live for the first time, welcome. It's good to have you here. We do this live just to give you a good, honest glimpse of our business. We do this every Monday morning. We ship out all our orders from the past 2 days. The last time I shipped was Saturday morning. So we got 48 hours worth of sales. I'm going to show you exactly what sold, exactly how much it sold for. I'll tell you how much I paid for those items, and I'll give you some rough profit numbers for all those things as well too. And a great place to ask questions. Drop those questions down below in the chat. I love to hear about your business, how things are going, and all that too. I'm kind of looking up and down because we're doing a little bit different with IG. The IG Live wasn't working through my Restream software. Apparently, IG is having an issue. So there was an error message on my Restream software that let me know that IG isn't working for the multicast kind of stuff. So I have you on my cell phone down here on IG, and then Facebook and YouTube, you're up here. As always, these lives are available as a replay. As soon as this live is over, you can watch that replay on Facebook or YouTube. You can rewind it. You can fast forward through stuff. If you missed something I said, you can go back and see all that stuff. And if you're busy at work wrangling the kids or whatever, that's cool too. What's up, Trisha? How are you? Welcome in. So I'm going to try to remember to look back and forth. What's up, 5280 Finds in the house? Hope you're doing well. Drop your sales down below in the chat. I'd like to hear about what's selling for you or what you're finding. It's garage sale season. So if you're out there doing that kind of stuff on the weekend, I want to hear about those finds too. Of course, it's cool to talk about thrift finds too. You're the boss for just a second here. Let me know in the chat. What am I shipping first, eBay or Poshmark today? Let me know what I'm shipping first, and just type it there in the chat. You're the boss for a minute. Francis, good morning to you. Appreciate the kind words. Property Queens, hey. I think on Instagram too, I'm going to have to stay really on the chat because it moves up really fast on the screen here. I think it's really easy for me to miss chats on there, but I'll do my best. Chilling, selling hangers. I like it. Did you guys get a new batch built down there? I like it. Good morning from Lakeland, Florida. Probably a warm morning, I'm guessing, in Lakeland. We had a warm weekend. It went from early spring to we had upper 80s weather over the weekend. So that was wild. Still nice weather. It's just when you go from having pretty regular 60s and low 70s to jumping up to upper 80s, all of a sudden it's whoa, it's a shock to the system. Yep. All right. Nobody said eBay or Poshmark. You guys know the drill. I give you the chance to be the boss for 1 second to tell me exactly what to do, and you don't even do it. You were given the opportunity. So just type down below in the chat eBay or Posh, and that's what I'll start with. We'll ship both, of course. Good morning from Casa Grande. What's up, Nick Smith? How are you, bud? Saw Tyler Childers last night? No way. That's awesome. Good for you. How was the show? That's cool. I'd go see that show. We went out last night and saw my friend Fleming's band. He played at a really cool venue that we had never been to called Burial Brewing. Built their own venue now. It's called Eulogy. It opened about maybe 2 years ago, and we hadn't had a chance to go see a show, so we went and saw Fleming last night play. Did we see any other music this weekend? No, that was it. That was our only music foray. But as much as I love my buddy Fleming and love watching his band, they're great. I would have liked to see Tyler Childers instead. I always feel like I'm going to say his name wrong. Shetty says eBay. eBay it is. Granny says eBay. Gotcha. Okay. eBay it is. We got our shipping labels all stacked up, ready to go here. Let's see. Where am I going to start? I'll start. So this would have been in the first order on Saturday afternoon. This is going to Marta. So this is actually an international eBay sale. This is going through the eBay's international shipping program, or whatever they're calling the program now. So this is a brand new Polo Ralph Lauren. This is a quarter zip. This is that classic estate rib model. It's priced at $125 MSRP. I bought this retail clearance. I paid $29 for it. It sold for $57.60. That's actually a Nifty offer. So my cross listing and automation tool, Nifty, sent an offer to Marta, who watched this item on eBay. So 10 minutes after she watched it, Nifty sent her a 10% off offer. Marta accepted that offer, closed the deal. And that was Saturday afternoon. We were out and about. So I like having my cross-listing tool just do work for me. while I'm out and about. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link if you want to check out Nifter. Great live show. That's awesome, Nick. If you want to check out Nifty on a free 7-day trial, I just dropped the link down below in the chat for you. If you can't find that link or the link doesn't work because it's in the chat screen, you can just go to my profile and find the link. You can go to chris@peak.com and find the link. But I dropped that for you. It's a free trial and you get 15% off your first month if you decide to sign up afterwards. I'll probably have a series of sales that sold on auto offers from Nifty over the weekend, which is awesome. So first sale was just that. Good morning, Bianca. How are you? Roddy says eBay as well. Francis, a lot of storms in Virginia this weekend. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. That's no fun. What did I miss? If I missed comments, I'm sorry. They're scrolling quickly, especially on the Instagram feed down here. And I'm not used to having the Instagram feed. That's on my phone. I'm not used to doing it that way. So this is going to go out in a 15 by 12 poly mailer. Little retail arbitrage play, Polo Ralph Lauren. I buy a lot of this stuff retail clearance and sell a lot of this stuff retail clearance too. I'm going to do a little bit. That's not the 15 by 12. I want to do the 15 by 12 back on this. All right, this is going out to Marta. If you're new to these lives too, I have a little card that I put in all of these orders. There it is right there. And on the back, I just put a quick thank you message to all the buyers. Great sales over the weekend, some great finds as well, and still posting my big vintage buy. I want to hear about this big vintage buy. I don't know if I know anything about this big vintage buy, but I am intrigued, Nicholas Smith. So this is going eBay International. So I'm shipping this to an address in Illinois, I believe. Yes. In Glendale Heights, Illinois. And that's the address for the eBay International Shipping Center. They might have more than one. I'm not sure. If you're on the West Coast, you have to ship to Illinois too. Might depend on like where you're shipping from. That's a good question for Nick Smith. Nick, do you have to ship to, when you do international orders, do you ship to that same address, that Glendale Heights, Illinois? I'd be curious to know if they have like a separate one for the West Coast. All right, first one out of the door. What's up, Sister Steph Peak is in the house. Good morning, good morning. I heard you had some interesting news. I got to chat with you about that sometime soon. Second sale, Cabela's. I don't pick up everything from this brand, but these were a heavy 5-pocket work pant. So like a black denim kind of heavy pants. Men's size 40 by 32, sold on a best offer of $20 on eBay. I paid $5 at a thrift store for them. I'll tell you how long they took to sell. They took 4 months to sell. Go figure. I bought them in February and sold heavy work pants in the middle of June. But people buy work pants kind of year round. So that's one of those things. I'm also going to put this in a 15 by 12 poly mailer. This is a good time to remind you too that I put together a really big list of all our recommended reselling supplies, tools, supplies, shipping supplies, you name it. Even this like little mouse here, which is a new mouse for me, this ergonomic mouse. All the stuff we use for the business is at this link. I just made this huge document and even explained what I use each of these things from. California is still Illinois too. Good to know. Good to know. Okay, cool. I guess they probably picked a central location like in the middle of the country, right? That's the idea there. So I went ahead and oh, that's not the right one. Sorry. That didn't copy right. Copy link address. Let's do this. That's the link right there. That goes to all our recommended reseller supplies. So everything I'm using today is linked there in that document right there. Some of it's like Amazon stuff, some of it's Staples stuff, some of it's Home Depot stuff. But it's all some of it's eBay links too. I buy some stuff from eBay for like shipping supplies and whatever. So that's going to Statesboro, Georgia. This is for AY. What's up, Kelsey? I seen you walk in. Hi, Julie. Sorry if I missed you walk right in. I was cleaning dressers out this weekend and found my Bat Cave t-shirt. That's awesome, Francis. That's awesome. Does it have that little like does it have that little funny logo with like, you know, the guy like waving that looks very phallic? Does it have that logo? Or you said Bat Cave. Sorry, that's the Chimney Rock logo. You know what I'm talking about? That Chimney Rock logo. I'm like, are they serious with that thing? Might be a good time for a rebranding. I always chuckle when I see that. If you know what I'm talking about, you can put a little laugh emoji in the chat. If you know, you know. Second order out the door on eBay. We still got Poshmark to do and a whole bunch of eBay. Another retail arbitrage play, Polo Ralph Lauren. Very, very summery piece. Brand new with tags. Men's size, medium. Look at this all over fish print. And it's linen. All over fish and linen. I got to remember to like come back down here and show you these two. So $58.99. That was on a best offer. Where's this going to? It's going to Studio City, California. I picked this up retail clearance, probably 29 bucks on this. That's pretty typically what I get a lot of that brand new with tags polo for. This is going to Bradley. That's really the most I pay for it. So it's either 29 or less. Thanks, Bradley. Vintage fur coats, dead stock shoes. Nice. I like it. The move to Utah. You're the busy one, never know it. I'm always working and I'm never working, Sister Stephanie. But it's usually more of the former. But you know that mentality. And our orange cat Grog is getting neutered today, so we're hoping for good things today. Well, sending my best to Grog as he gets neutered. I can imagine that would be a not fun experience for any being. Next up is for Catherine. She's in Vancouver, Washington. Get a little sip of water here. Got a Royal Robbins. I call this Old Man Outdoor brand. Royal Robbins is a famous climber, really the first like famous climber, and has his own line of clothes. These are really expensive retail. Resale value isn't always great on these. I try to pick up the Royal Robbins stuff that is things that you would wear for hiking or for fishing or for climbing, like more technical pieces. So this one is a vented short sleeve shirt. You know, it's moisture wicking and all that stuff. I try to pick up the more modern tags. Those tend to sell a little bit better too. This one isn't a super modern tag, but it's also not a super old one. Somewhere in between, probably a 10-year-old tag. So this is going out to Vancouver, Washington. Thank you, Catherine. A lot of items are shipping at that 8-ounce rate for USPS Ground Advantage today, which means the shipping labels today are largely very cheap. So this one's shipping for $4.84, even though it's going from Asheville, North Carolina, all the way to Vancouver, Washington, because it weighs in at that half-pound rate or that 8-ounce rate for USPS Ground Advantage. It's got to be cheap. It's going to be cheap, $4.84. So thank you, Catherine. That's what's nice about a lot of these summertime sales is your shipping cost tends to be quite a bit lower. That last shirt we shipped to, that Polo Ralph Lauren with the linen one with all the fish all over it, that one was also $4.84. And that one went all the way to California. Again, that weighed in at an 8-ounce rate. So those light summer pieces, we got a lot of those light summer pieces going out today. Next up is for Steven. Welcome in, welcome in. It's Bree. What's up, Bree? How are you? If I miss your comment, just drop it again, especially on Instagram. It's scrolling fast. I got you on a little screen today. The Restream software isn't working. Good morning, Desert Rain. Welcome in. Get a pair of Carhartt shorts. These sold in 2 hours. I listed these yesterday morning. We did a quick listing spree. I did a quick listing spree yesterday morning, put 20 items up, and then Kim and I went hiking. So while we were on our hike, it could have been less than 2 hours. I'm not sure because we didn't have any service. We were in Pisgah Forest. So on our hike, I have no idea when this sold. But when we got back into service after the hike, these had already sold. So $19 on these going to Steven. So these are Carhartt, like carpenter shorts. These are going to Ponca City, Oklahoma. So nice in-season little flip right there. You know, I'll be honest, I haven't sold a lot of Carhartt shorts over the years. I feel like I just haven't really found them, but I found a whole bunch of them recently. I got like maybe 5 total pairs that I listed yesterday. One of them was women's. I think the other 4 were men's. One is gone and out the door. It's so good. I took a break from reselling, but still love it. That's great. I hope you're doing well, Bree. So you're back now? Is that the dealy deal? All right, next order is going to Chris. Thank you, Chris. Chris has got some Lululemon shorts. These are going at an 8-ounce rate for sure. Went back and forth with this buyer. We settled on an offer of $29.49. This is a Lululemon. The model is called THE linerless shorts. You can look up the model on most Lululemon by looking at the little size dot. It's oftentimes in one of the pockets. It's not always there. But on that size dot, it will tell you the size, obviously, but there's also a style number that you can just Google that style number, Lululemon, put in that style number, and you'll get exactly what it's called. I usually put that name in the listing of the item so that somebody who's looking for these shorts brand new, they're probably, I don't know, $80. And then they're like, well, let me see if there's a used one, and they look for the same model name and they find it. And they're like, cool, that's $30 or $29.49. I'll grab that instead of spending $80 for brand new. That's the name of this game, right? Sales for me have been very slow this week, but listing things people are viewing and liking right away, at least. That's good. That's good. This time of year, if you saw my post that I put up on social media today, this is June, July, and August tend to be off season for my business. This is we're wrapping up our 7th year. Really, a month from tomorrow, I think, is like when I technically opened this business 7 years ago. So we got an anniversary coming up, but every summer it's been slower. So June, July, August are my slow months, and also February is a slow month. So and there's some reasons for that, but this order is, and I sell mostly clothing, so that's part of the deal. Did I not make a thank you card for Daniel? Let's make it right now. The best thing you can do when sales are slow is keep on listing. We'll talk a little bit more in a bit about things that I do in the summertime or during these slow seasons to be prepared for the next big season. All right, so Daniel, one of my favorite sales of the weekend right here. Not crazy profit, but super solid profit. I paid $5 for this shirt from Menegildo Senya at the thrift store. This one's a really lightweight corduroy. To give you an idea of how lightweight this is, this weighed in at 8 ounces. So oftentimes, like corduroy is kind of like that heavy, thick material. This is a very light one. So Menegildo Senya is a Italian designer, and a lot of their modern stuff, I think maybe all their modern stuff, is made in Turkey. Probably most of it. They probably still have some that's made in Italy, but high-end stuff. I paid $5 for this at the thrift store. It sold for $33. So my profit on that is going to be about $23 is the profit on this, and actually maybe more like $25. I'm going to make a couple dollars on the shipping label. It's only going to be $4.62 for me to ship this from Asheville to Hidalgo, Texas. So thank you, Daniel. You might have seen the video from a couple months ago when I found this Senya and also found like 3 other Senyas. I found a Brunello Cucinelli and I found a Canali, all at the same thrift store, all for $5 a piece. I believe all of those pieces have now sold. I think this is the last one. I was pretty excited about that. And a few of those pieces, the Brunello sold for like $90. A couple of the Senya, like they were like silk polo shirts. A couple of those sold in like the $60-$70 range a piece. I mean, that was really, really good little pocket of finds there. So that's out the door. Thank you, Daniel. Next up is a really cool find. I don't know if I've found this before. It's been a long time. So this is an LL Bean blazer. You can see that tag, and that tag is a pretty cool tag. It says Outdoor Specialties. I don't believe that to be a vintage tag. I think this is just sort of like a different, like almost special tag, like a special line that's still fairly modern. So it's a cotton blend. Sorry, it's a wool blend, wool polyester nylon. And there's a cotton liner on the inside. So this is a really like heavy, this is not a summertime blazer. It's that heavy like tweed, like herringbone style. But this is made to be like warm. So it's funny that this sold in like June 9th, right? $40.90. These you can find sold comps for these upwards of $60 into the $70 range. I think I had mine listed for $59.99 and was happy to take this offer. They offered $40.90, which is a strange offer amount, the 40.90. But I accepted it because I'm like, I paid $7 for it. It's the middle of the summer for an item like this. I'm happy to make that profit. So profit on this piece, I paid $7. They paid $40.90. So really, that's going to be 33. It's like a $28 profit. I made a couple of dollars on the shipping too. So it's going to be a $30 profit on this item. So pretty excited about that one. That middle of the summer, definite like heavy winter warm blazer. Bianca is in the house. Need advice. Let's put this up on the screen. We got a friend that needs some advice. So let's take a look. I received an offer for $40 on a new tag Faraday men's jeans. Is that fair? Not sure if I'd accept that or not. Bianca, I'm going to put this one right back on you because you have all the tools in front of you to make a really good decision here. You don't need me. You don't need anybody here in the chat. I would encourage you to look up recent sales of similar new tag Faraday jeans. You probably have a model name or a model number that you can look up to get really specific and just see what's the going rate. What are those selling for on eBay? And see if you're comfortable with like $40. I also don't know your buy cost. I don't really know your business model, like how quickly you're trying to flip things. What's your like bottom line profit? Everybody's got like a little bit of a different way of doing it, but you have the tools in front of you. So that would be my challenge back to you, Bianca. And I'm not trying to be mean here. Teachers don't always give the answer, right? Teachers oftentimes do better when they teach you how to find the answer. So let me know, Bianca, do you know how to look up, and I'm not trying to be facetious here, but do you know how to look up recent sales on eBay to see what the market value is for that item? Ever heard of Howler Bros? I find 3 at Goodwill and sold them already. Yeah, Howler Bros is one of my favorite brands to buy and sell. It's a hot brand right now out of Austin, Texas. Really like that brand. It's got cool vibes, a lot of like kind of modern Western wear. I am a fan of Howler Brothers for sure. If you price it right, it sells quick too, especially the really ornate pieces. So great grabs on those. Who's that said that? That's Dawn. Nice, Dawn. If I miss a comment on IG, just redrop it. It's scrolling quick on my end. I just have like this. You're on a small screen today instead of my normal computer screen. Let's see. So this is going to Gregory. This is going to Houston, Texas. So shipping of a heavy wintertime tweed blazer with a cotton liner. I mean, it is heavy. And this is going to Texas in the middle of June. Maybe they're going on a trip. I don't know. Thank you, Gregory. Great flip right there. I'll tell you how long that was in inventory. I just don't remember how long ago that was listed. They all start to blend together a little bit. So I listed that on March the 15th. So kind of at the end of the winter, it's past winter sales season really at that point. So 85 days, so just under 3 months on that bad Larry. Yeah, Bianca, let me know like drop it down below in the chat. You can't just run away now. Sounds like you have a nice offer. So let us know like what's the average sale price that you're seeing on those Faraday jeans, and then let us know what you decide. Are you gonna accept that offer? Are you gonna decline that offer? Or are you gonna counter at another price? I'm curious. I've seen Canali pants before, but didn't look them up to see if they were worth picking up. They probably were Desert Rain. Of course, every item is a little bit different. You got to comp out what you have in your hands. But my guess is if you found Canali pants, they were probably worth money. I don't know how much they priced them at your thrift store, so it's hard for me to say if it was a good pickup or not. Milky, what's up, brother? Y'all, if you're not following Milky Flips on Facebook, you should be following Milky Flips, just like it sounds. Milky, M-I-L-K-Y Flips. I'll put this comment up on the screen so you can go find them. We'll give them a follow. If you want to learn more about reselling, that's a person that I follow to learn more about reselling. So it might be a good person for you to follow as well if you'd like to learn about this game. A lot of clothing over there. Really knows his brands, and he knows beyond the brand, which we talk a lot about in this channel. He knows like the unique pieces from each brand that sell better as opposed to the unique pieces from each brand that don't sell as well. So he's a good person to follow. He gets into the nitty gritty. He's not a hype man. He's a teacher. And that's what you need, a teacher, not a hype man for this stuff. That's what you need, in my opinion. Whoops. What did I just hit? Okay. Where am I? Untuck It. It's funny. Actually sold a couple of used Untuck It shirts over the past week and sold a lot of new tag ones to some of y'all in the chat. Let me know down below in the chat if you picked up one of our Untuck It reseller lots. We are currently sold out of those. So this was a used Untuck It that I picked up at a thrift store. I paid $5 for it. This sold on a nifty best offer of $19.80. So I had this listed at $22. I think it was $21.99 actually. And this actually sold overnight last night. So somebody came in on eBay. Catherine watched this item, and then my cross lister Nifty sent them an offer 10 minutes after they hit that watch button. And that offer was for 10% off. That's what I set it up to do, but you can set it up for whatever you want to. Huge, not so secret weapon for me in the reselling world. So I woke up to a sale and it was thanks to Nifty. Now, Nifty gets the assist. I had to list the item, take the photos, I had to find the item. But Nifty with the assist right there on getting this sale. Love that. This is going to Catherine. Thanks. I've never heard of it before. My dress pants cost me $5.60, so decent price. My guess is that those Canales would have been a good pickup for you. But here's the thing: not a lot of people know that brand, and a lot of resellers avoid the pants section. They don't dig in and like look at all the pants. So I bet you if you went back to your thrift store, you probably still find those Canale dress pants there. Because I people skipping leg day out there. What's up, pure friend? Stefano Rishi ties are nice. Thank you, man. I appreciate you sharing the bolos. I like it. You received my Untuck It lot Friday and posted it over the weekend. So it's you bought 42. Is that right, Nick? Or I forget what yours was the very first box. I don't know if it was 40 or 42 at that point. But you got them all listed. That's great because that's the beauty of the multi-quantity. That's the beauty of it. Nifty taking all the credit when it was you doing the work. They got the assist, man. It's just like in hockey, right? Somebody scores a goal, but two people can get the assist, right? In hockey, there can be two assists. Like in basketball, one person gets the assist. So Nifty gets the credit for the assist on that one. I'll take it. If I can help people see, there's two things you got to get good at in this business. There's really three things, but there's three things you got to get good at this business. Number one is you got to get good at finding valuable items that are in high demand. Number two, you got to get good at selling items that are in demand. Just because you find them, a lot of people tell me like, I can't sell this. Somebody told me in a comment today on YouTube this morning that I was reading, they said the Polo Ralph Lauren has gone way downhill, that they can't sell anything from that brand except for like super unique stuff and big, like the Polo Bear stuff. They're like, that's it. Everything else, I don't pick it up anymore. It's totally gone downhill. And I'm like, yo, dude, you crazy. So you don't only have to get good at finding the right stuff. You have to be good at selling it too. And that's where Nifty comes in. The third thing you got to get good at is you got to build efficient systems, repeatable systems that can save you time, but like allow you to turn your brain off and just sort of operate and get stuff listed. So, habits, routines, practices that are really efficient. That's the third thing to be really successful in this business. But so many people struggle at the selling part. They get really good at acquiring items, and then for whatever reason, they can't sell those items. Their photos aren't good enough. They're not pricing items right. They're not promoting on eBay, which I think at this point is a mistake. If you're selling clothing on eBay in 2025, if you're not promoting, I think that's a mistake. They're not cross-listing, and they're not using automation tools to help them get auto offers. That Untuck It shirt would be still sitting out in the garage in inventory if I didn't have Nifty, sending out that auto offer. So that helps speed up sales and that's what you need. You need to get stuff into your space and then out of your space, whatever that space looks like. For me, it's the garage. I got to get it into the garage, and then I got to get it out of the garage. They're two separate skills, and you got to be good at both of those things. And then hopefully you have a streamlined process for it. Next up is a G4. And I should say too, I talk a lot about Nifty. I'm going to give you a link to the free trial down below in the chat. I can't stress enough how important it is to my business. I'll put it in Instagram too. I don't know if you can click the link on Instagram, but you can find it. If you go to my profile, there's a link for Nifty. It'll give you a free 7-day trial. If you like it after that trial, you'll get 15% off your first month. Check it out. Could be a game changer for your business. My box was 48 on Tuckit. Bam, 48 shirts up over the weekend. I love that, Nick. And Nick, thank you for the business. I really appreciate that. Bought a Ben silver tie for $2 and sold it the next day for 45. Let's go, Big Bird. Justin in the house with a great flip. That's awesome. $2 into 45. Bolo alert right there. Ben silver ties 2 into 45. Let's go. And if you can give us some next level knowledge on Big Bird, Justin, I can just call you Justin. If you can give us some, what's that second level knowledge on that brand? Like, is there certain Ben silvers to look for, or is it just, or is it like, if you find Ben silver, get it, it's a score. Let us know. Canali pants, always a good grab. You got it, Milky. Milky, how are your sales this weekend? I know you asked me about mine. Strange weekend. 3 sales on Saturday, and I think 13 sales yesterday. And that's really what, to me, like June, July, August are. That's also what February is. It's roller coaster time. It's off season for, people bought a lot of their summer clothing already, their spring, summer stuff, their short sleeves, their shorts, right? They'll still buy that stuff. Don't get me wrong, but they've bought most of that stuff. Now they're going on vacations. They're spending money on traveling, trips, and that sort of thing. And not so much shopping. It's a down time of year for clothing retailers, like big box store clothing retailers too. So what I see is a roller coaster. I have some really killer days, and then I'll have like probably some days where I sell 20 items, but I'll also have some days where I sell 2, 3, or 4, and that just kind of pulls down the overall average. But the summer slowdown to me is not doom and gloom. It's just a different season. And it's a time to tinker with your business and get better so that when September hits and things start getting really good again, that you're ready to crush better than you've ever crushed before. That's the way I see the summer. It's an opportunity to tinker and to try some new things, try a new marketplace. It was 2 years ago, July, where I launched Whatnot, and did my first Whatnot show, and then ended up doing that for like 8 months. It was a good thing for my business. We'll probably be on Whatnot again here really soon. I started cross-listing for the first time back in June of 2021. I used the summertime as a way to start, using cross-listing tools to get stuff up on a Poshmark. Back then I used to sell on Facebook Marketplace too, and Depop and Grailed and all that stuff. The summer to me is a time to tinker so that when September comes back, and then you're getting into Q4 and some of the best sales months of the year, that your business is more efficient, that you have more sales channels perhaps, and you just, you have a better system and a process so that you can really crank up from wherever you're at now to wherever you want to be in the fourth quarter. So I like the summertime. I spend a little bit less time shipping so I can spend more time tinkering is what I call it. From my research, all Ben silver ties are a great grab. Thank you for that, Justin. Appreciate that. Appreciate that insight. Ben silver has 100% sell-through rate, says David. So y'all doing your homework. I like it over there. So on eBay, it says that Faraday knew a tag go for at least 60. Cool. So it sounds like you know what to do as far as your next steps with that $40 offer, I'm guessing. Bianca, let us know what you decide on over there. All right, let's jump into our next sale here. This I was excited about. I don't find a lot of G4 used at my thrift stores up here. I was excited about it. Plain pattern G4. It's still a good seller. It's not as hot as it was maybe a couple years ago, but still a really good selling golf brand. There's the tag right there. And I got it home and it had a hole. They were reckless with the tag gun and like put a hole in like the chest. And it's just a type of material. Some materials like that hole can kind of come out. This is more of like that like PK material, and those holes like really don't come out. So this sold for $13 on a best offer. I paid $5 for it. This is not a good profit item, but when you get something home and you got a flaw on it, it's not the worst thing in the world. I still got my money back and made a few dollars on this. They paid $13 plus $6.95 shipping on it. So the shipping labels cost me $4.75 because it's an 8-ounce rate, and this is going to New York. So, it is what it is. I'll make a few bucks. What will be my profit on this? Like let me think, 11, maybe 10.50, and then I'll make $2 on the shipping label. I'll make $7 on this. So, right? Is that right? $7? No, it's not $7. Hold on a second. Bad math. Yeah, I'll make about $6 on this. you know. But if I knew that that hole was there, if I spotted it in the thrift store, I would have left it behind. But ties are a category I've started looking at, but know nothing about. Nice. But you have a process, Desert Rain, for learning, right? You know how to fish, so you can learn any category if you know how to fish, right? I bought a lot from you. I have an issue with a pair of pants. Hey, Mary, I got your email about that, and I saw your comment yesterday about it on Facebook as well. I replied to you yesterday in an email with a potential solution, so let me know what you think. And I appreciate your business, and we'll get that all sorted out for you. Kind of the name of the game. You have that many units, there's likely to be something that's flawed in there. So we'll take care of it. Just if you don't mind getting back to me via email, that would be awesome. Chris just got the diploma the other day. Cohen, super proud of you, brother. Super proud of you. That's awesome. Congratulations. I'm going to give you a call this week and check in and say hi. But that's awesome, Cohen. Congrats. I'm really excited for you, man. Thanks for popping into the live and saying hello too. That's cool. Tell mom and dad I said hi. Cohen, graduating high school. I love it. The same thing just happened with a Nike dry fit shirt. I got 2 holes from a tag on the chest. Yeah, it stinks. It's going to happen from time to time. You just, you can still sell. And that G4 sold really fast because I was priced at the bottom of the market. So it's going to get a lot of views because it's, most G4s are priced in the mid 20s and they see mine. I think I had it priced at like 16 or something like that. So it got a lot of views. So it sold in 23 days with the flaw. So it's not the end of the world. You're welcome, Cohen. It's not the end of the world if you have a flawed item. You can still get rid of those and whatever. Next up is nice sale here. Pair of AG Adriano Goldschmied. I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. And I don't care, but they sold. These got, let's see, $31.50. You're not really good. Oh, you might be able to see the logo there. See that little AG with the circle? That's what you'll see in the store. And that's like that back, like kind of patch tag with that little AG. It's kind of subtle. I pick up a lot of AG jeans, mostly men's, some women's too. You have to comp the individual models to get a really good idea of their resale value. This one sold on a nifty best offer, $31.50. So Steven watched this item on eBay. 10 minutes later, Nifty sent a 10% offer. And it sold. They accepted the offer. And I didn't have to do a thing. So $31.50, I paid $5 at the thrift store. At that price, my profit is going to be about, let's see, 25. Let's see, I make money off the shipping too. Yes, I made a couple bucks off the shipping. So I made about $22 on this pair of jeans. And this is going to Steven. Thanks, Steven. The model here is called the Everett. So these are slim straight. And these have like a little cool like herringbone, like subtle herringbone pattern on them too. I do really well with AG jeans. Some do better than others, so make sure you comp out the model that you got in your hand. But for $5, I'm pretty much picking up any men's AG jeans if they're in good condition. What's up? Granny Pammy is in the house. What is Milky's name? I think it's the same thing. I think it's Milky Flips, right? Milky, you're on IG too, right? I forget what platform. I never know what platform I'm watching people on. I don't know if that's the same for you, because I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and a lot of people post their videos on all those. I post my videos on all 4 of those platforms, right? So sometimes I don't even know what platform I'm watching people on, but I think it's Milky Flips is who you're looking for, and I think he's over there on Instagram too. I think so. I know he's on Facebook. Next up is for Derek. I've been selling these Columbia shirts. This is the time of year they move. This is like summer season. People want these like lightweight Columbia shirts. It's a really, really well-known brand. People have been buying them for years, right? It's a trusted brand, but the market's flooded with these, because they've been selling. Columbia's had high distribution at a lot of the big box stores forever, as long as I can remember, right? So there's just a ton of these out there on the market. But in peak season, when it gets to like summertime like this, spring, summer, these will sell for me. I'm not going to get rich off them. This one sold for $16, men's size 2XL. But I start buying them when everybody ignores them in like January and February. I'll start buying some Columbias for $5 or less. I like the bigger sizes. I like the ones that are like vented, moisture wicking, PFG, PHG. You're not going to get rich off them, but because I take better photos than most of my competition, I have really good keywords. I promote on eBay. I cross-list to Poshmark and Mercari, and I have automation tools. I can sell some of these lower sell-through rate items and really, really crowded market items. If you're not doing all those things, if you're not taking like really good photos, have keywords that you're crushing, if you're not promoting on eBay, you're not cross-listing and using automation tools, it's going to be hard to sell Columbia consistently. I'm just being honest with you. But hey, I'll do some of these I usually price them at like, $17.99, $18.99 is typically the price range I price most of these. And I'll accept, offers that are basically $16 and above. And I can fill my cart up with Columbia, especially in January, February, March, when people aren't buying this kind of stuff. I can just fill my cart with it. I'm buying other stuff, obviously, too. But while I'm there, I might as well throw some of that Columbia on it in there and make some money in May, June, July, that kind of thing. And why not? So that one's 16. I paid 5, sold for 16. I'll make $2 off the shipping too. So after all fees and shipping, 13 minus 5, 8. I'll make $10 off that shirt, whatever. Why not? And I sold another one actually that we're going to ship now. So that's eBay. We're done eBay. We got Poshmark sales too. So all these sales, if you're not cross-listing, these would basically end up being bonus sales from the weekend. If you were just selling on, if I just sold on eBay, none of these sales would have existed. I also had a Mercari sale too, but I already packed and shipped the Mercari sale. I'll tell you about it. I already packed and shipped it because I scheduled a UPS pickup today. I have over 100 pounds of UPS shipments going out from those reseller boxes. So I don't know what time UPS is going to show up. I pretty much know when USPS shows up, they have like the same sort of circuit that they travel every day. They go to everybody's house. I kind of get them clocked for the most part. UPS, they just show up whenever. I don't have them clocked yet. So I wanted to get that Mercari order like out and packed on the front porch with the other UPS items, just so I didn't miss that pickup. So that Mercari order was a youth Carhartt distressed like duck jacket, freaking like insulated duck jacket, just like the ones that sell for like, $100 plus for adults. It was a youth one. It had some like stains on it, some distressing, some wear. People want their kids to also have that cool, rugged distress, like their kids, they work hard, so they want, anyway, $28 on that. I paid, I think, like $3 for it at the thrift store. So that was an awesome flip right there. I picked up total like 4 kids, like heavy. 2 of them were Carhartt, and then a couple there were other brands that I picked up, like kind of like the distressed workwear jacket thing. And I've already sold a few of them. So sorry, wasn't able to show you that Mercari sale. I just wanted to get that up and out. What's up? Jeremiah is in the house. Hope you're having a good day too, brother. Thanks for being here. I'm doing some listing right now. Nice, Darlene. Nice, Darlene. It blows my mind when someone has the same or close to item for under $10. How can they make any money? I believe it hurts other sales when they are so low. So Darlene, yeah, that's a good point. You never know what that other seller, like what their purpose for selling that item is. It could effectively be like their own garage sale, if that makes sense, right? Like people at garage sales, you just price stuff to get rid of it. You move everything out into the garage, or you move it all out into the driveway, and you invite the public to come and buy that stuff. You just want it gone. You're not necessarily looking to make a ton of money. Although some people try to price stuff at garage sales, eBay prices, but you get the idea. The main purpose of garage sales is cleaning out, right? Spring cleaning, like let's rotate some of the stuff out that we're not using anymore. Some people use eBay for that too, right? So they might not care about pricing an item that's like worth $25 at 25. If they're like, heck, I just want to get this thing out of here. $10 is fine, right? They're not necessarily buying something at the thrift store for $5 and selling it for $10. That would be my guess there. So you got to remember, people have different reasons for selling on eBay. It's not just people like us who pay all our bills with that money, like, that they're full time or whatever. Are you listing winter clothes now? Yeah, I list stuff year round. You might have just popped in, Darlene, but I sold a winter heavy herringbone tweed blazer, like really heavy one, like almost 3 pounds. And I just shipped that out today. So stuff sells year round. It's obviously wintertime slower in the summer, but when I get it in, I list it. And I actually just listed a whole bunch of pants and jeans yesterday. Not all pants and jeans, but probably out of the 20 items I listed yesterday, 10 of them were like summer items, things that shorts, polo shirts, that sort of thing. The other 10 were pants and jeans because I'm already I'm already thinking about we're walking into the summer slowdown season, June, July, August. Our next peak season is September. See what I did there? The next peak season, September. And that's when that's when jeans and pants really start kicking off. Fall fashion kicks off. So I'm already listing stuff in anticipation of that. And I'll price my items so that I'm really competitive as soon as as soon as people start thinking about that fall fashion, they'll be buying my stuff, which means they'll buy it in August too. And that's when kind of back to school and all that stuff happens. I shipped out 15 orders today. Nice. Or since Thursday, eBay and Poshmark. Nice, Grammy Pammy. Haven't been putting in any full-time weeks for a long time and no daily listing, but have consistent sales using eBay and promoting most on eBay, or using Nifty and promoting most on eBay. I love that, Grammy Pammy. Thanks for the report. That's good, healthy sales right there. That's good, healthy sales. I like it. Have you found any rollback? Yes, I have a rollback there's a pile over there. You want to see it? I think you want to see it. I think it's in this pile. Let me find it. I think it's in this pile. Stand by. Stand by. Okay, I thought it was in this pile. No? Well, I can't find it. I thought it was in that pile. There's one other pile it might be in. The suspense, I know. Oh. Oh, this is it. Got it. You thought I was making it up. Check this out, y'all. There's the dog right there. Look at that. Goodwill tag. Hoodie. Sick, right? With like a herringbone, a houndstooth check pattern to it too. Crazy, crazy piece. Crazy, crazy piece. Pretty pumped about that one. Pretty pumped about that. Amazing. Sorry, I probably didn't show that to IG as well. I'm not used to having like the two cameras. Yeah, rollback is amazing. I found like 17 pieces the other day for like $9 on average. That's sick. I'll be psyched. It's like an all-time pickup. You're going to be talking about that pickup 5 years from now. That's crazy. Rollback, Howard Brothers, and CC Filson. I've only ever found one of each, but got so excited when I saw each one. That's awesome. That's awesome. I've been lucky this year. I've got a couple of rollbacks so far. I've got probably 3 or so Filsons and probably Howard Brothers. My guess is like 3 or 4 Howard Brothers I've found this year. So it's been a good start to the year with that kind of stuff. Coffee break. All right, let's pivot over to Poshmark. We got 4 units going out the door, 3 sales. One of them is a bundle of 2 items. So we'll just jump right in with the bundle. It is, okay. These are like, lower end brands, right? So this bundle, Eddie Bauer, these are fleece lined, like hiking pants. Like they're kind of like a soft shell, like kind of nylon material, but they're fleece lined, Eddie Bauer's. And then Columbia right here. Told you I've been selling these Columbia. So these went out the door for $36 on this bundle. So $18 a pop on this. And going to the same buyer. Let's see. I'm going to throw these in a box. So it'll fit nicely. That's the thing with Poshmark orders is they all go out USPS priority. So you can use any of these free USPS priority materials, including flat rate materials you can use for Poshmark too. But I'll just go ahead and throw this. This is the USPS priority shoe box. I find it to be a handy box for a lot of different things. They got 2 items, we'll throw it in a box. I'll probably just trim this box down just a bit. Posting a Filson as we speak. Nice flex, Nick Smith. I like it. Sounds like you got some nice stuff going on over there between the Untuckets and all your vintage stuff. Time to switch out this blade on this knife, eh? Little speedy resize. So this is going out to Jill. Thank you, Jill, for your order. $36 total on these bundles on Poshmark. I love the way they do it, really. It's combined shipping for the buyer, you know, and it's $7.99 for up to 5 pounds. So there's no back and forth conversation with the buyer like you have to do on eBay if somebody wants to buy a bundle. It's just not as easy. Poshmark, it's super easy to put that bundle together, which is smart. It's good for their business, right? They want people to buy more than one item. It's good for the customer because, you know, $8 shipping is a lot for a customer to pay. But if they can get a couple items and now they're only paying $4 a piece, that makes sense. If they get 4 items, you know, and it's only paying $2 a piece, and that's even better. So I really like the bundle thing on Poshmark. Mercari does it too, although I don't think most buyers know about it. So anyway, nice little like low end, kind of the low end of bread and butter on those. Gotta move you for a second. Sorry. And those are like in-season specials, like hiking pants and like vented shirts like that are big sellers this time of year. All right, next up, let's just do another Columbia. So this is 3 Columbia shirts out the door this weekend. One sold for $18, one sold for $16, and this one sold for $17. So $17 average on those 3 items, Columbia. Not getting rich off of it, but like I said, I can fill the cart with them. This is size extra large. It's vented. It's polyester. So this is like a piece that people wear in the summer for fishing or going on the boat, or if they want to put it on and make it look like they're going fishing or on the boat. You know, it's fashion. But the ones that tend to sell better are the ones that are like kind of more gear pieces, technical pieces, stuff that people wear to go do stuff. All right, so this is going to Alan. Thank you, Alan. I have so much I ain't listing. I don't need to source. Get it together over there. Get your stuff listed. You're not a hoarder. You're not a collector. You're a seller. Get it together. My sourcing has gotten better. I like that, Nick. Posting a Filson as shipping has gone up on Poshmark just a little. Yeah, I forget what the new price is. But every year it goes up because USPS raises the rates on them. So then they just pass along the extra cost to the customers. Typical biz stuff. It's a fish fry shirt. I like it. Oh yeah, I see what you're saying. Yep. You gotta look cool in that. Go to the barbecue. I didn't even know what it was. Yeah, great find on those rollbacks, by the way. That's like literally you're gonna be talking about that rollback 17-piece find in like 5 years. I probably won't have found 17 total when you found one in one day. This is a cool one. Peter Millar Summer Comfort. This is the time of year to be selling these. So these are those polyester spandex blends ones. These are the golf ones. So more desirable Peter Millar. This one has a logo on the sleeve, and I know there's a lot of conversation about logos on sleeves on golf polos, and I'm just here to say that there's nuance to that conversation. Sometimes it doesn't help the sell-through rate or the sell price. Sometimes it helps it. Sometimes it's kind of neutral. Other times it helps a little bit, and other times it helps a lot of bit. In this case, it helped a lot of bit. The logo is the Dalmore, so it's like I don't know if you know their logo. Can I show it to you? Let me just see if I can do a shared screen on this. I just don't want to show the buyer's name. Yeah, I can do it without doing that. Let's just do a quick shared screen. You won't be able to see this on IG, I'm sorry, but you'll be able to see it on YouTube and Facebook. Shared screen, this one. No buyer's name, right? Yes, okay. So there it is. You can see the logo right there. And the Dalmore. So that is a Scotch whiskey brand. So I don't think there was any of them listed either when I looked it up. So anyway, that's the quick share screen. Stop screen sharing. I can't obviously show you the logo here because it's packed up, but sold for $31. So the market value for Peter Millar is Summer Comfort. It's like 20 to 26. So in this case, it got me $31. The logo helped, and it was a pretty quick sale. I feel like I didn't really list this that long ago. I'll look for sure. 20 days to sell. 20 days for sell, and got top of the market for it. Most people aren't paying 31 for Summer Comfort. That person bought that because of the logo, so they were able to pay up for it. Kelsey said something about a linen shirt. I just bought my first Orbis piece with your advice and sold it within 24 hours. Nice, 100% linen. How much you get for that one, Kelsey? Kelsey's here from Boone. Let's see. Where did you get that little metal coffee pot back there? / Idaho Hillbilly. I don't know what that is. This is probably what you're talking about here. This is called the Primula Express. This is a great little one. This will make 1 cup of coffee. You put the coffee in the middle in this little thing. You put the grounds in there, and then you put water in the bottom, and you fill the water up to this little sprig right there. So the water goes in the bottom. Coffee grounds go there. You want to do it like espresso style, so a real fine grind. Screw this on. You put this on the stovetop. My hand is the stovetop, and you just heat it up on high. And then when it gets hot enough, all the water moves up through the top, through that spout up there that you can see, and just pours out into this top. And then you pour your cup of coffee right out of this. Makes a cool it's super easy to use, super easy to clean and everything too. Makes a nice peppy cup of coffee, because when you grind coffee really fine like that, you end up getting more caffeine out of it. So that one, if you really need to wake up, it's going to make you a little espresso. It's called the Primula Express. I don't remember where I bought that. I've had that for years. It's great for camping. I use it at the house too. I love talking about coffee. Thank you for bringing up coffee. So this Peter Millar is going to Melissa. Did your thank you card go in here? Got me talking about coffee. See what happens. What are the general market price for Untuckit long sleeve shirts? I price the used ones. I typically price them at $23, $22.99 is typically where I price them. But there's different ones, wrinkle free can tend to get different prices. Bigger sizes can get better prices. Some of the performance ones can sell a little bit better, like the nylon polyester ones. So, but you can look that just as quickly as you type that in the chat. You can look all that stuff up, Mary, on eBay. You can take a look at exactly what the sale prices are from today. Just look up Untuckit, filter it for used, filter it for long sleeve, and filter it for sold, and you can look at exact like what they're selling for. Yes, I found 100% linen shirt polo yesterday. Hard unless it's super big sizes. I probably underpriced, but lesson learned. What did you price them for? Did you tell me? I don't see it, Kelsey. I'm going to keep an eye out for linen Orbis. Nice. I actually bought 2 linen Orbis last week too. I went to one thrift store last week because I was doing all that Untuckit stuff, and ended up getting a couple of linen Orbis, which makes me happy. Coffee all day, all night. Got it. 2 to 3 pots a day, pothead. I like it. Well, have you checked out our coffee? We do have this is it. You gotta market your own business. We have our own coffee brand. So it gets roasted fresh every Thursday locally at Dynamite Roasting Company. Dynamite is right here in Black Mountain, North Carolina. So just east of Asheville, just north of where we are in Fletcher. So we get this roasted fresh every Thursday. It's fair trade, it's organic, and it's just delicious. This is our medium roast. This comes from, the beans are from Chiapas, Mexico. So it's going to have like a nice little subtle sweet milk chocolate flavor to it. This is Kim and I's daily driver. We probably have this 80% of the time, right? Or 4 out of 5 days is we typically have this one. But we also have a dark roast and a light roast available too. They're all delicious. They're all fair trade. They're all organic. And this one here is a single origin coffee, meaning all the coffee comes from one cooperative of farms in Chiapas, Mexico. Chiapas, if you care, is the southernmost state in Mexico, right down by the Guatemala border. The coffee is ridiculous. It's our favorite coffee, and we are just privileged to be able to partner with the best coffee roaster in Western North Carolina. I can say that because they've won the best coffee roaster 12 years in a row, which is kind of crazy. How many thrift stores do you typically go in a week? I'm typically like in the 6-ish range lately, but I've also had like a pretty big backlog of inventory back here. So earlier in the year, like March, I was going to like 8 a week because the thrifting was really, really good. And I just couldn't slow down doing it. But because I did that, I got a backlog. So now I'm not thrifting quite as much as I was. I've also been doing a lot more content. And that's part of the thing too. $21. There's nothing wrong with a $21 sale price right there. I typically sell Orvis linen for 21 to like 26. So I think you're in the right price range right there. Nothing wrong with that sale price, especially if you sold it that quickly. I bought 2 navy blue blazers over the weekend with gold buttons, and one sold for 60 and the other sold for 70. Each paid $19, 100% wool. Nice, Don. What were the brands on your navy blue blazers? I love those. Those are like the frat boy blazers. I like it. We have, and if you want to check out the coffee, by the way, too, I didn't even do like a sales pitch really good. I don't really want to sell you. If you like coffee, you want to try ours out, try it out. I don't think you'll be disappointed, but I don't really want to pitch you. But let's go ahead and I'll just drop it in the chat for folks who are interested in checking out our coffee. Even if you don't buy any, if you want to just check it out and read about it. Coffee's fun, like reading about where the beans are from, where it's roasted and all that stuff. So I'll drop it here in the chat in IG. I don't think you can click this link, but if you can, cool. If not, you can just go to my profile or go to chris@peak.com. You'll find a direct link to our coffee. You can go check it out. We have a local coffee beans place, Go Bena. Spelling might be off. It's so good. They donate profits to charities. Well, I'm glad that you actually mentioned that, because we actually donate $1.50 of every bag of our medium roast goes right to families in our neighborhood that were severely impacted by Hurricane Helene and are still on the rebuild. So it's $1.50 from every one of our Hoopers Creek medium roast. And we renamed our Hoopers Creek. We renamed it to Hoopers Creek medium roast because that is the creek that flooded many of our neighbors' homes and forced them out of their homes for several months. Many of them are moving back now and over the past couple of months. But Hoopers Creek is the one that did that damage, and that's what we call this neighborhood here in Fletcher, is Hoopers Creek. So we renamed it Hoopers Creek, and we pledged $1.50 of every bag that's sold of that will go directly to those neighbors who are severely impacted by Hurricane Helene and are still impacted by it, to assist with their rebuild. So we're excited about that. And then once we finally move on from the recovery, which the storm recovery seems like it's going to be years, but we'll pledge to another local, cause that we really care about. The beauty of this too, as opposed to just like handing this to a charity. Sometimes charities have like CEOs and directors and all these people like make money and they spend money on marketing. We're actually going and handing this money to people. There's no money, there's no cut taken out of it, right? 100% of that $1.50 gets handed to these people. So there's no, there's not all these little hands taking, 10 cents of it and 20 cents and 40 cents for marketing and 50 cents for salaries and all that stuff. $1.50 goes on down the hill, and I can just walk down there. I don't even got to use gas to go do it. So, true, right to helping people kind of stuff. So you asked about the coffee link's right there. And, yeah, I'm always happy to answer questions about the coffee and all that stuff too. Subbed up. I like you already. Well, I appreciate you being in here. I'm having fun with you being in the chat. You're carrying the chat right now. You're carrying it, and I like it. But we got some folks carrying it down here on Instagram too. Don, Ralph Lauren and Joseph A. Banks Navy Blazers. I like it, man. Good finds, good flips on those. Love that you can sell like a Joseph A. Banks for that much money if you know what to look for. It's sick. Do you know much about women's items that sell quickly? I feel like I miss out not going in there. I know a little bit about women's clothing. It ends up being probably, a little bit less than 10% of my sales in any given year, but I'm opportunistic in the women's category. I don't know everything. Most of what I know about the women's category are brands that I call them carryover brands. So they're men's and women's brands. So I know that they sell well for men. So I pick them up for women, like Patagonia would be a great example of that, or Cool, something like that. But I'm certainly not I'm not your number one source for women's clothing knowledge. I am a student of that game for sure. I don't spend a lot of time in the women's section of the thrift store. I usually hit jackets, like jackets and sweaters, like that heavy section. That's what I hit. Thank you for whoever hit the like button on the Instagram live. And if you haven't hit that like button yet, I'd appreciate that. That helps us out. And if you haven't said hello down below in the chat, that engagement helps us out. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button or that follow button, we'd appreciate that too. Helps it out. We just hit 60,000 followers on Facebook late last week. We're about to hit 61,000. So we're on like a good rise over there. And when we relaunched our reselling content back in February on Facebook, we had 38,000 followers. So we're getting pretty close to we're almost doubling that here probably in the next month or so, doubling our followers since we relaunched reselling content on Facebook. We hadn't been doing it for a little bit. We were doing hurricane related content really from September 27th through mid-February. It was just all focused on that. But since we came back, we've seen a lot of growth. We're seeing a lot of growth on YouTube too. We're grateful for that. We're up over 7,000 subscriptions on YouTube. I think in February, we were at like 5,000 subscriptions on YouTube when we relaunched our reselling content. So glad to have all those new subs on YouTube. Welcome aboard if you're new. If you've been around for a while, appreciate that too. If you haven't subscribed or followed on all the platforms, we'd appreciate it. We put stuff up on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. We're Chris at Peak on all those, or at Chris at Peak on all those platforms. You can also go to my profile or click the link down below, go to chrisatpeak.com, and you can you can find all our socials through there too. But I appreciate it. And thanks to whoever hit that like button. That was a long-winded way of saying thanks. A larger size linen pants, 100% cashmere sweaters, and larger wool blazers are all good women's sells. There you go, from Kelsey herself with the advice. But yeah, the women's section. So the way that I find women's clothes is typically women's clothes that they accidentally put into the men's section, which is great because you can find really good stuff that way because the women aren't looking for that stuff, right? So it'll just sit there on the racks until I come across it, which I love. I also find it off the fresh racks. So when they're rolling out the fresh racks of inventory that they're currently stocking, I always look at both the men's and women's there because that's the stuff that nobody's looked at yet. So there's more heat there, right? Bro, I'm at 200 subs. Let's go. Believe it or not, one day I was at 200 subs too. That's how it goes. You just got to keep pushing. You got to work as hard at it when you're at 200 as you do when you're at 500 or 2,000 or 5,000 or wherever you're at, right? You got to put the work in. You won't get as much results at 200 typically, right? But you got to put in the work without the results. You got to ignore the results and just put in the work and post and go. So Carolyn's in the house from Florida. What's up, Carolyn? Welcome in. Cindy, hello. Ordered some of your coffee this weekend. Can't wait to try it, Cindy. I appreciate you. I want to just double check to make sure. Let's make sure that your coffee order got out. It didn't. We can do it right now. Cindy, do you want it? We can ship it right now. We're on live. You're here. This is my favorite thing to do, is to ship it to people like I'm talking to you. It kind of brings us back to, I grew up in small business, but a different kind of small business than this. I grew up working in restaurants. So my first restaurant job, which was my second total job. Yeah, my second job, I was delivering pizzas for a Greek family that owned in a kind of an Italian style take pizza, roast beef. If you live up in the Northeast, you know what I'm talking about. It's a place called Giovanni's. But it's that classic roast beef shop, roast beef and pizza. There's a lot of Greek-owned roast beef pizza shops in Massachusetts and Southern New Hampshire, Connecticut, even Maine and stuff. That's a big thing. So I grew up in a business like that where we had regulars. It wasn't like a tourist destination. It was a small town, and it was all regulars. This was all like workers and stuff, and it wasn't a fancy restaurant by any stretch of the imagination. Where did I put those bags? So for me, this feels real. Like Cindy's here. I'm fulfilling your order for you, Cindy. Thank you for, supporting our small business and our family. Like this feels really, really real to me. Grew up in Connecticut. So you get this. So to me, sometimes this business feels, when I'm shipping stuff to people on eBay, I don't know who these people are. I appreciate their business, but sometimes it feels a little, I don't know, hard to get my arms around, or almost doesn't feel as real as the businesses that I grew up in. And I ran restaurants, for over a decade and worked at them for longer than that. So that's very natural to me. And I liked working for small business. I never worked for a corporate restaurant or like a publicly owned restaurant. I just never did that. So Cindy, you got yourself a bag of Hooper's Creek medium roast, and you got a bag of ground. Is that right? Is that right? You like your coffee already pre-ground? I just had the San owner of a deli gave me a free brand new coffee grinder, Cuisinart, for your coffee. That's awesome, Carolyn. So it sounds like you're switching over to whole bean now. So if you can see on the back of this bag right here too, that's what we were talking about, that $1.50 from every bag of our Hooper's Creek medium roast is going to be donated by somebody who lives here in the Hooper's Creek neighborhood. It got severely impacted by Hurricane Helene. So thank you, Cindy. You're supporting that. You're also supporting our small business. This rebuild here in Western North Carolina is going to take a long time. And the way that it's like crushed some people financially is just something you don't recover from in like a couple of months or whatever. It's been 8 months, which is wild. So Cindy, thank you for your support. I'm so glad that you popped in and that I hadn't shipped it already earlier in the live. I hope you love the coffee, Cindy. Freaking awesome. Good timing. Good timing. I didn't do anything with it. I get frustrated and give up super quick. Yes, you gotta. Social media is got to be a labor of love. For most people, it's going to be a labor of love for a long time before it becomes something where it sort of, you feel like you're getting back what you put in. I mean, that's just the way it is. Sorry, my postal worker just drove by, so I was like, oh, do I have to hurry up and get these out? But she just drove by. All right, we'll get this out to you. You're going to have a shipping confirmation in your inbox in just a couple of seconds, Cindy. And if anybody else is interested in buying some coffee right now while we're on the live, I'll ship it out for you right here on the live too, which is really fun for me. Which is really, really fun for me. It just feels more real. Did I just? Stuart the man is in the house. Sorry, I missed your comment, Stuart. Always go into women's rack stores, usually add crazy men's shirts here. How my best finds are from the women's section. Started with just looking at collared shirts. Nice, Rodrigo. I like your approach, brother. That's awesome. You're welcome. Thank you. You do now have a shipping confirmation. It's in your inbox. It's got to have the tracking information and all that. And oh, it's not going far. You're going to get this super quick. You're just you're just south of the border. Going to South Carolina. Well, thank you. Well, thank you. Thanks, Cindy. The link to our coffee is in the description of this live video. It's also at chris@peak.com. It's also going to be in the chat in just a second here. Happy Monday. Welcome in. The Obabs is in the house. There's the link right there if you want to check out the coffee. Just want to read about it, check it out. I think it'll probably be the best coffee that you've ever had in your life. Spartanburg County, I know right where you are. I get down in that neck of the woods fairly often, although I haven't been down. I probably haven't been down since January, if I'm being honest. Since like the last like retail clearance season, which was January. I don't think I've been down to Greenville at all. I just haven't been sourcing that neck of the woods. What's up, Roxanne? I like getting down there though. It's a nice area. All right, so that's That's everything. That's all we got. I'll check and see if any orders or any offers or whatever came in while we were hanging out, and see if we got any sales. Nothing on Poshmark. So a crazy weekend of sales. 3 sales on Saturday and 13 yesterday, like roller coaster time. Sold another pair of Carhartt shorts on eBay. Let me know down below in the chat. Just drop a Y or an N. Yes, if you want me to go grab those from the garage and ship them out. I just listed these yesterday. So I listed like 4 or 5 pairs of Carhartt shorts, and now 2 of them have sold in less than 24 hours, which is really cool. But let me know down below in the chat, Y or N, if you want me to go and ship them now. Otherwise, I'll just wait till tomorrow and ship them out with tomorrow's orders. What are the jeans called again? Canali. So just change the E to an A. And so Canali is a Italian designer. They're mostly known for like formal wear, like suits and blazers are really the best sellers from them. But you can find some really good other things: polo shirts, pants, jeans from Canali are good sellers as well. Brittany says, "Why?" That's the first photo I see. So I'm going to go out and grab this. I'm going to go out and grab this pair of Carhartt shorts. They sold for $19.99 on eBay. They are in bin number F10. Just give me 1 second. Talk amongst yourselves. I didn't take my phone out with me, so I hope I grabbed the right ones. Yep, F10. Yeah, these look like them. So I had these listed for $21.99 on eBay. I listed them yesterday. I got an offer today for $15 this morning right before I went live. I countered it at $19.99. They sold for $19.99 plus shipping. I don't know. I don't remember how much. Probably $6.95 shipping. $8.95 shipping. Good, because these are going to be over £1, so I priced them right. I thought I might have forgotten to. So my shipping label on these is going to cost me $7.76. So I paid $5 for these at the thrift store after shipping and fees. That's going to mean I'm going to make 11, 12. We'll make $13 because I made a couple bucks off the shipping there. So 13 bucks off that pair of Carhartts. Just picked them up this week. Just listed them yesterday. Out the door today. That's the beauty of listing shorts and short sleeve shirts and stuff like that right now. That's what's hot. So these are going to David. Thank you, David. David's in Clay, Michigan. You're welcome, Dawn. Is everything like the 99 listings or the dollar? That's a good question for the chat. The question from the OVABs is, does everybody like the 99-cent pricing, like the emotional pricing, or do people like using the flat rate dollar numbers? Good question for the chat. Nice quick sale, says Brittany. I see you have Untuck It bundles. When would you get any more? Greg, I'm sold out of the Untuck It bundles for right now. And I don't know what the future of that is going to be, so I won't make any promises or tease either way. I'm not 100% sure. I don't like talking about things until I know that they are certain. So I might have more, but I just I don't like talking about it until I know for sure. I don't like to overpromise and underdeliver, if that makes sense. I don't like to tease things. I just like to tell you. So I'll tell you if and when I get them. I will let you know. But I appreciate your interest in it. I'm not trying to be coy or mean or whatever. Just being honest. Do you promote? If so, what rate? Yes, I promote at 5%. I clicked the wrong one. Yep, I promote on eBay. I think you're asking about it at 5%. I like doing 99. It does seem to affect things a little bit. Use something weird like 4976. I read it in a book. Nice. You read it on the internet, so it has to be true. Copy. Yeah, I'll let everybody know when I get them, Greg. If I get them, I'm not sure. If I get them. All right. So this is going to David. We already talked about that. Little $13 profit. I listed these. I think I hit go on these yesterday at noon. So it's like a 24-hour sale on that. And I sold another pair yesterday in just a couple of hours of Carhartts. What kind of Carhartts? They're carpenter shorts. I don't know, like canvas, cotton, carpenter shorts. I also, what do we got here? I do that when I counter, so they think I'm actually giving them a bottom dollar. It's a weird give them a weird number in your negotiation. It is a negotiation strategy for sure that I've heard people talk about. Using like a very specific number. My buddy Phil likes to talk about that, using like a very specific number, not like a flat number. I also noticed when Poshmark switched to their shipping from $7.99 to $8.27, it's gotten me more lowball offers. It's only 28 cents. But in people's mind, I think they see it as a bigger increase. Gotcha. Makes sense. Makes sense to me. You promote all your items on eBay at 5%, even if it has a high sell-through rate. Yeah, I do now because I just have it like an auto promotion thing set up. So it's like I don't have to click anything. It just allows me to just go. So I don't change it from one item to the next. It's automatically set on all my listings on an auto campaign. So it's just one of those things. Like, is it a bad idea to turn off promotions on items that are really high sell-through rate? No, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. You just got to decide between, it's like two principles that are like kind of pushing against each other. One principle is like, get as efficient as you possibly can, right? Tease out any extra seconds in your process so that you can get more items listed and therefore sell more items. So that's like a one side, like that's this fist punching this way. It's like, get as efficient as possible. The other side is like, well, if I change my promotion rate or turn off promotions altogether on some high sell-through rate items, I might make, a few cents or a dollar or so more on those items too. So you have like two sort of competing forces that are like equally opposing forces. And you just have to decide what's the best for you. And I've made a lot of decisions over the past couple of years where I used to be more on this side, where I used to try to maximize my profit for every single item, even if that meant putting more time in. And this fist was stronger than this fist and he would win. But the last couple of years, I've gone more this way as I've scaled the store and as I've gotten into some other business ventures, including the coffee that's behind me, including doing a lot of content, although I've been doing a lot of content for almost 5 years. I started creating content in June of 2018. So like I have a 5-year anniversary coming up for creating reselling content now here. And I'd have to check the exact day, like my first video. That's always fun to kind of celebrate these anniversaries of your business and things that you've done. So, but anyway, as I've added these new things, right, I try to put, I'll push more this way, and efficiency and like saving time has won out on more of these, like, which is the better thing for me to do. And there's no right or wrong decision with those things. I think it's a half dozen one way, 6 the other, as they say, right? But I decided that I think it's a little bit better for my business to focus more on like the efficiency pieces. So that's my soliloquy, I guess, on that. There is no wrong answer. That's just my answer. Auto is a big time saver. I've tried both. Yeah. I mean, I list off templates, right? So I have templates for men's shorts, women's shorts, men's pants, women's pants, activewear tops, sweaters, short sleeve shirts, polos, long sleeve shirts. I have all these templates built out so that it saves me a few seconds on every listing, probably more than a few seconds on every listing. So I don't have to like retype everything. And I put like the photos of like the measurements. Like I have like a little guide, a little photo thing that shows people like what I measure, like what are the dimensions that I'm measuring, right? Like what are them? And I have that preloaded into those templates. I have the shipping like already set, like the price and the weights like already set for each category, so that I don't have to adjust every item every single time. And I just do flat rate pricing on my shipping. It's $6.95 for shirts and shorts. It's $8.95, for pants and sweaters, and $9.95 for blazers and heavy jackets, and $11.95 for full suits, that sort of thing. And I just have that, I just price it the same. Sometimes I make $1, sometimes I lose $1. Sometimes I make $2, sometimes I lose $2. But for me, it's just the efficiency sort of wins out there, and I can get my time back, which is the most valuable of all, of all things. Do you auto populate? That saves you time. I don't know if that was that question for me or for Christy Marie. I can show you exactly what one of my templates looks like if that's helpful. So what I'm going to do, let's do this. I'm going to share the screen. I'm going to do, I got to get this buyer's name off the screen real quick first. Okay. I'm going to share my screen. You won't be able to see this on IG. I'm sorry. My IG restream isn't working today, so that you're on my phone, and everyone else, YouTube and Facebook is not on my phone, is on my computer. So the folks that are watching on YouTube and Facebook can see this. Hey, it's mini peek down in the corner. So as you can see in the top left, you can see, talk about like saving time. I have all these things, my spreadsheet, Jason Hayes's reseller spreadsheets linked right there on the left. That's my eBay templates, which we'll click on in a second. But I have all this stuff bookmarked, so I can go really quickly to all the things that I use, every single day. So I'm going to go ahead and click this eBay template piece right here. And you can see all the different templates that I've built out. So then if I want to list a button-down long sleeve shirt men's, which is, I probably list more of those than anything, I just tap there, hit create listing, and it's going to bring up my listing. And you can see that I have this photo here loaded in already that shows how I do my measurements. That'll end up being the last photo, not the cover photo, once I load the other ones up. And as I scroll down, there's certain things that are already checked. So like size type, I've already checked regular. Sleeve length, I've already checked long sleeve because this is a long sleeve shirt template. The department's already set to men. The closure is already button. Fabric type is knit. Material is cotton because that's the most common one, but I'll change it if it's spandex or nylon or whatever. So you can see neckline, collared, things like that are already toggled on, so I don't have to do that every time. Down in the description, I have most items I sell are excellent use condition, so it already says that here. No rips, stains, or pulls. 100% cotton, that's the most common, but I change it if it's something else. Measurements, you can see I have that built in, so all I have to do is type in like the 25, 22, you get it. Length wouldn't be 22, by the way. It would probably be 32, but you get it. I can just type those in. I already have ship fast via USPS. Thanks for shopping. And then I have a little description of my business and my return policy down there. So I don't have to put this in every time. As I scroll down, here's a default price that I use for long sleeve button down shirts. I price a lot of them at $19.99. So that's already loaded in there. But if I need to change it to $21.99, I just change it to $21.99, easy. But sometimes I don't have to. You can see my shipping policy is already loaded in, $6.95. I'm going to ship in 1 business day. The weight defaults to 12. The package dimensions default to 12 by 9 by 2, which is the size of one of these, which is these little poly bags, which is where I ship most of my stuff in. So, and then the international shipping is turned on. And I think I'm looking for that part about promoting. So yeah, it says it right here. This listing may qualify for a campaign using rule-based listing selection, which is true. I have it turned on to 5% for all my items. So I don't have to toggle or mess with that every single time. So all I got to do is toggle a couple of things here. I copy and paste the item title from my spreadsheet there. I drag and drop the photos into here and rearrange them. I put in a SKU, like if I'm going to put it into H6, I put a custom SKU number right there for H6. And yeah, just toggle a few things here. A lot of it auto populates from eBay, and then type a few things. The other thing I do here, talking about saving time, this is something I added recently. I used to do a lot of this and then I kind of got away from it, but I'm getting back into it again, is I set up these shortcut keys. So check out this shortcut key. I'm going to put in asterisk S1 and see on the screen what's about to show up. I'm going to hit enter, and it loads up moisture wicking stretch quick dry performance shirt, just like that. And then it shows 95% polyester, 5% spandex, because this is the second most common thing that I list in long sleeve shirts, right? Is moisture wicking stretch quick dry performance shirt, and they're usually a blend of polyester and spandex. So I have that as like a keyboard shortcut key that pops that right into that thing too. So that's another thing that you can mess around with, is create those shortcut keys for very common things that you do on your listings to, again, save you. When you can save a few seconds, or even 10 or 15 seconds every single listing, it doesn't seem like a lot. But if you start listing 80 or 100 or 110 items a week, you can do the math on that 15 seconds and see how that's going to impact you. So you just got to, encourage you to continue. And this is the summertime. We still live up here. We are. This is the summertime. It's a great time to tinker with some of this stuff, right? It tends to be a little bit of a slower season for us clothing resellers. This is a great time to tinker with new things. And in the summer, this is always when I do some more tinkering. I'll probably go back at my templates. I'll revise some of them. I might even add like a whole separate template that has this moisture wicking stretch performance. Like I might actually just do a separate one for those shirts instead of the 100% cotton ones. That could streamline some things too. So this is the time to do that, I think, is the summertime. At least that's the time that I've always done it. That's when I try new marketplaces. That's when I try new cross-listing tools typically. Just find different ways to get better and more efficient at this business. So again, I have a template for everything. I have a bookmark up here for everything I use. You just gotta, the things that you do at least once a day, you should have some kind of shortcut for those things to try to save seconds, because those seconds really add up over time. And these are all the different templates you can see loaded up in here. So that's my little template thing. Now you got Big Peak again. That's wicked cool. Yeah, your northeast is showing the OVABs. Word. Okay, I think I answered all the questions. What's the shortcut for that? K-Way, bend over, I'll show you. What else did I miss up in here? All right, we're good. I'm caught up on all this stuff. That's all I got for you today. I shipped up all my stuff. I showed you some eBay templates. Nobody else is asking last minute questions. Chemo's in the house. What's up, Chemo? You're at the beach? Nice. Where are you, like Galveston? I forget what beach would be closest to y'all, Chemo. That's awesome. I hope you enjoy some downtime. Send me a picture of your, don't be weird. Show me a picture of your feet in the sand. I shouldn't have said that. But yeah, show me a picture of you guys relaxing. Don't be weird. Y'all are weird. I love using templates. You got it, Trisha. All right, y'all, I'm going to sign off for the day. Hope you have an awesome week of sales. I hope you find some really great stuff when you're out there. I hope you take a couple extra seconds to look up a brand that you've never heard of before, and I hope it's worth a bunch of money. Come tell me about it next week. I may or may not be live next Monday. We get some tentative travel plans that are out of our control. I don't know what day we're going to be out of town, but we might be out of town next Monday, which means I will not be live. I'm not sure yet, but if not, I'll see you one of these Mondays coming up pretty soon, and hope everybody has that awesome week. I'll be posting videos and posts all week, so I'll see you. Say hi on those things too. But if you haven't hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. If you haven't said hello down below in chat, I appreciate it. And remember, all these lives are available as replay. So if you're just popping in and you're like, crap, Peak is signing off, remember, they're available as replay. As soon as this live's over, you can watch it on YouTube and Facebook. You can fast forward, you can rewind, and all that stuff. So I'll be in Las Vegas next week. That's awesome. I hope you have a great trip. It's an interesting time of year to go to Vegas. It's hot as all get out, right? But you can hang out by the pool or hang out in the air conditioning and play your games. Peace out, everybody. Enjoyed it. Take care.